Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Hey gamers. Hey chat. I know I streamed Mouthwashing before, but man, I really want to experience it again, even though it's just last year. I think this is still by a long shot one of the best game I've ever played, at least this decade even. It is so good. That's why I want to play it again, but to differentiate it from my first playthrough, I'll try to spoil the game, so spoiler alert. I've also managed to go through more of this, the God of the Woods. It's a very slow burn book. This is 430 pages. More even. Yeah, 435. And I'm currently at 143. And it's still, it felt like it's still, a lot of it is still very much in the character introduction part, character introduction and world building, which is that's a slow burn of a slow burn. So I'm hoping that it will eventually land to something. You know what? Tomorrow morning I have 2 meetings early in the morning, so let's go with the game. Let's play the game. Okay, that's Curly. So Mouthwashing is a sci-fi, a story about a monster. And in the story of Mouthwashing, we are on board the Pony Express long-haul space fighter named Tulpar with 5 crew. And the plane shipment duration is about 1 year and 2 months. And we've gone for about 5 months. And the last message is, I hope this hurts. Okay. So this is the start of the game, where the ship is going to crash into an asteroid, meteor, something like that. A mass of body in the space, unknown mass. And when you first play this game, you will think you're playing as one of the character named Jimmy, but no. You think that you're playing as the captain of the ship named Curly, but not really. And also, take note that any mistakes that the ship made, or that any of the any one crew made, will give punishment to every single one of the crew. So if one of your crewmate made a mistake, all of them will be punished. That is the policy of this company that they work at. which tells you a lot already about the world. You don't have the key for that. And I think that's it. The emergency key. Disengage autopilot. So this crash is on purpose. We did it on purpose, and this is don't let anyone in. And that is Pony. The Polly says Giddy Up Galaxy. That is Polly, the mascot of the company. And we're getting closer to our first jump scare. So since a lot of the game is have a lot of allegory in it, a lot of things that symbolize something else in the with the character. All the poly signs is our obsession with the company itself. The character that we're playing, Jimmy. And how we feel like we're stuck with our position in the company. The company itself become some kind of a monster to us. So if you listen closely, it's the sound of baby crying. Still uncomfortable, despite this is being my second playthrough. Come on, man. Whoa. That still got me. God damn it. Okay, so that's the crash, which is done on purpose. And at first, at the first playthrough, most of the player will think that we're playing as Curly, the captain of the ship, because how the game is played is we kept changing perspective between Jimmy, which is the guy right now that we're playing, and Curly, the captain of the ship, before the crash and after the crash. So already in our head, oh, that means we're playing as Jimmy at the start. We're playing as Curly at the start, as the captain. No, that was actually Jimmy, the one who did that. And now that the ship has crashed, the 4 survivors of the ship, because there's 5 members, right? And Curly right now is at the hospital, not hospital, at the clinic bed, incapacitated. So there's only 4 of us left, and we are trying to find food because it's been 2 months since the crash, and there's still about 8 months to get to our destination. Alternate access code. Only the captain has access to the scanner. We've seen the scanner. It's in the pilot room. Swansea is very sarcastic. For better or worse, I'm captain now. That has always been what Jimmy wanted. To get ahead in the company. To be looked up by people. Not because he deserves it, but because he thinks he deserves it. Fire code scanner. And then this is everyone's bed. This is Daisuke. There's the gaming magazine. Some, little dumbbells because he want to look good. To get girls because he is the youngest. There's the Game Boy. This is, I think, is Swansea. And this is, I forgot the girl name. But she slept in front of this.
Polly says, Mondays are the worst, but coworkers can make it better. Yay!
This is the doll have a movement sensor on it that will play a voice if someone walk up to it.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Yay!
Only 4 months left of food. That's why they're hoping to get to the inventory that they're trying to deliver at first. Hoping that there will be food there. Jimmy has a very bright outlook on life. He's the youngest person, and he has less of that loss of innocence that every adult will go through. That's why he's very cheerful, and it's also his disposition to be cheerful, because that's just the kind of guy he is. And another thing that the game told without by environmental storytelling is this. So there's 4 colors here that symbolize 4 characters in the game, 4 of the survivors of the crash, and usually they spend time here playing that board game. Some painkiller. Jimmy. Just open his mouth and then left him. After the crash, Jimmy got injured so much that he cannot say anything. Curly got injured so much. I kept mistaking those two because they're just too similar. You did make it through nursing school, right? So Jimmy already is very hostile. Pony Express sure does know how to cut corners if nothing else. Anya, yeah, I forgot. Anya is the one who slept in front of the motion sensor detector, Polly. It's almost entirely foamed out. Kind of a miracle Curly didn't end up fossilized. But it could still be unstable. So remember this. Because Jimmy said to Anya here that the cockpit is foamed up and nobody should go in there because it's unstable. You're so capable. I just spoil it. Jimmy raped Anya. That's why Anya is trying her best here to placate Jimmy because Jimmy has been very hostile towards her. So she's trying to make sure that Jimmy is not becoming more hostile towards her by, saying good things about him, playing to his ego a little bit. And also, Anya is pregnant. Because of Jimmy. People have to be worth their titles. Don't you think, Nurse Anya? Again, Jimmy is very insecure. So when he said people have to deserve his title, it's because he thinks of himself as captain, but he knows he doesn't deserve it. So he projects his insecurity to Anya, who have saved Curly's life, by the way. Curly might look like that, but him being alive is kind of amazing. Pain is how we know we're still living. And also, Anya has told Jimmy that she's pregnant before the crash. So he's still acting like this after knowing that Anya is pregnant with his child. That's how much of a lunatic Jimmy is. How much of a trash he is. The cockpit is covered with foam. None of them has gone to the cockpit. Only Jimmy has gone to the cockpit. Because he's the one who bring Curly from the cockpit to the others. Blue collar fools. So Swansea so Swansea in here is already very clear that it is dangerous because even Anya has almost injured herself before the crash. And it's not actually that bad. There's some foam, but it's not like what he said to Anya, right? That it's all foam up and it's dangerous and unstable. No, it's pretty chill. Some things is a bit rough up, and some things does that get foam up, but it's not as bad as Jimmy makes it to be. It's because he want to keep people away from this area. Might as well look at this. $739. We'll need that later for the gun. I thought that was a code scanner too. Guess not. There's also the employee ID card that you can get for achievement, but I forgot where they are. Also, I don't think I've gotten all of them on my first playthrough too. That's what he said, but everyone is excited about this. $4517. Oh. Seven days before the crash. Okay, so Curry is someone who doesn't mind doing things that is for his work, but he also will try to find a way to not do it properly, if that makes sense. And this is also, we seen that Anya has some suspicion towards Jimmy, but it's mostly just inappropriate jokes, at least at this point. And this is also how we know that Curly and Jimmy has been friends for a long time. But Curly is captain and Jimmy is just a henchman. They can expect me to perform miracles. Talk to Jimmy and Swansea. Yeah, okay. Awesome, super cool, and really totally awesome. Like really awesome. Anxiety. Anxiety hasn't changed. The cycles of days in the ships, since they cannot see outside, there's this TV screen that changes every hours. So after the crash, the screen is stuck in sunset, so there is no change in what appear here, which makes also the game looks very red and very bloody and very good. It makes the situation feels more urgent. Crown Mania. Kinda fast, kinda cheap, kinda edible.
Polly says, I rise above negative feelings and thoughts.
Polly says,
How about you?
that's also the only area in the game that we never go through, I think. Curly's quarter. Yeah, his inexperience, his impatience, and he's useless. They added Daisuke last minute. There were supposed to be only 4 of them, but they added Daisuke at the last minute. $609. Just give it. Can only hit the foam. So Swansea already told this before the crash that the fan is dangerous. Everything is collapsed inside. You're looking to get impaled, electrocuted, and cooked? So this is before the crash. My grandma was super huge. He lived until like 60. Yeah, the guy, Daisuke is just very positive, for better or worse. So they've been friends, they're comfortable with making these jokes to each other. But Jimmy is the kind of guy, Curly is the kind of guy who is also carry his life with a lot of confidence that can be a bit toxic, if that makes sense. The kind of confidence where you did not even realize when you hurt other people with what you said or what you've done. That's the kind of guy Curly is. But he obviously has his own insecurities. That's why he had these visions. A vision about drowning, about water. About drowning in space. How about that? Yeah, so he's also worried that he had to deal with this kind of emergencies, which so far I don't think he has dealt with, considering how messed up the company is. And then there's the crooked letter, which will make sense in a little bit more. Because this is what he's worried about. Letters that doesn't go anywhere and emergency warning that he might have to face. And we arrive at the cockpit. Everything's still here. Yo. Also, Jimmy is not even just another henchman, he's co-pilot, which is already quite a high enough position in the letter, with nothing to do as far as we know before the crash. Since Curly is the one who have to do everything, and Jimmy's just there, standing around, doing nothing. He cannot even do his site evaluation without being inappropriate. And also he's been struggling back on Earth. Meanwhile, Jimmy kept comparing himself to Carly. I figured out, is this all I'll ever be? That's where the crooked letter came from. You've reached the highest end of this letter, so now you're thinking you might be on the wrong letter altogether. Still a long way down from the top no matter how you look at it. So before they were on board the Tulpar, Jimmy was on Earth, a nobody, struggling with life. And Carly is the one who offered him this job, which is a very comfy position to have, because he's already co-pilot already. He's not just janitor or something, he's co-pilot. But Jimmy doesn't see, is not grateful at all about that. He said that meanwhile I'm still climbing and climbing, so he only see himself being in the co-pilot as a position that he worked hard to, which he might have, but he also won't be here without Curly. He is only here because Curly believed in him as his friend. News from the corpor. Take responsibility.
Business operating at a steady profit can give its workers security and employee benefits.
More message about capitalism, because all of the event that is happening in the ship is also due to capitalism, right? The lack of security, because there's a deregulation. Their pay being so low. The debt that Anya have.
The employee working for a profitable business can maintain a savings account, own his own home, and
Why Daisuke got into the ship and everything.
family life. When investors receive a business operating at
I think that's one of the point that a lot of the people who made videos about mouthwashing miss the capitalism aspect of it.
Here, in fact, is the answer to a dream as old as man himself.
Even though it is so thickly coated in every aspect of the game.
And where was it science found that giant? In the atom, a billions of atoms are the tiny building blocks
Despite the technological advance of everything,
and shoes and sealing wax and cabbages and kings.
because they're still under capitalism,
Here, in fact, is the answer
there's
to
still
a
these
dream
mess up
as
companies. Where you, as the working class, as labor, is basically just another piece of burden, another meat to be hanged. And this is, I think, the most on the nose ever of it. The ism. Ism for labor. How is that not a conversation about the working class? Ism for labor. Ism for management. Ism for farmers. That is capitalism trying to sell itself to the working class, to the bourgeoisie. Dragon Breath present. A revolutionary new dental hygiene product. 99.9% of all germs. All day fire fresh. Consult with your local dental hygiene specialist before, during, and after use of Dragon Breath X mouthwash. Two months after the crash. So this is after we opened the cargo. We found mouthwash. Disinfectant, that means it have alcohol, 14% ethanol. For alcoholics, I think I said it on my first playthrough of the game. For alcoholics, you cannot have any mouthwash with alcohol on them for recovering addict of alcohol, because then you'll want to drink the mouthwash. "15 years of sobriety, popping like a cheese." So Swansea used to be a drunk, and he cleaned himself up for 15 years. And as a reward, here he is, still working in this mess. Six days before the crash. Break the news. After all these years, just like that. So everyone in the company got fired. Everyone. But when Carly is about to break the news, the other crew decided to plan a surprise for him for his birthday. One communal birthday party per trip. And this is also messed up, right? Because the trip is for 15 months. There's at least 5% or maybe even more who had their birthday during the trip, but only one communal surprise birthday party per trip is possible. Only one communal birthday party is possible. So it really shows you that the company doesn't care about their workers. And only we as the captain can make the cake. Either cheap or lazy, usually both. Oh.
Polly says, are you working hard? Or hard are you working?
Extra packet of sweetener in there. Daisuke is also sweet too. Two, 3, 4, 1. Water gelatin 3142 3142 4213. Then sweetener is 2341. Plain cake. There's already water bucket there. God damn it. It doesn't matter. Speed, speed. And that's when we tell them the bad news. Swansea is already old and tired, so he just indifferent to the news. Anya doesn't have any saving. And she's still quite young. Carly, thinking he's doing good, he delivered the bad news immediately after he got it, even though the instruction was to do it later. And Jimmy, who has been very envious of our position and think that he, as the superior man, deserves it better, because everyone needs to fit their title, right? Immediately projected his anger, his own insecurity toward Carly. Struggle of a life. Well, at least in here we also know that Anya got debt, student's debt. This is what happens when you trust the wrong person. Abandon the crew but remain the motel captain. And because everyone is also feeling the weight of losing their job, they also wouldn't want to side with Curly, the one who's breaking the news, especially since he has been seen as, you know, the face of the company, at least for them, while they're working there. So, I still think this is not the way to cut the cake. What kind of cake are they making it from? One more month has passed. This is our bed. So they've been drinking some mouthwash.
Polly says the Pony Express going hard space freighter is one of our fastest and safest ships.
More food has been wasted. They've opened this using the axe. Oh. Got one employee card. Nancy and Anya is in the cockpit. These are the noises that we hear from Carly. If that's how it has to be. Anya's reaction. And also Swansea's reaction. Oh, I'm keeping it together. Don't you worry, Captain. I said I'll do it. It's not inconceivable. No, it is inconceivable. There is also another form of Jimmy's projection of his insecurity. The crew talking about him behind his back. This is Swansea's bed, yeah. There's more mouthwash here. I know what everyone is thinking, the way they look at me. See? It's his own... Jimmy is the kind of insecure people who projected his own insecurity to others. The thing that he thinks about other people, he projected it into the thing that they will see in him. He knows it's bad, what he's doing, what he's thinking, but instead of self-reflecting on that he's being a bad person, he blames others for it. Thanks for that. And this is also, as I said, the one who crashed the ship is not Curly, it's Jimmy. And still he is blaming Curly here. He's also hitting Curly here. Curly's not making the first time we gave Curly the painkiller, we're not making those noises. That's what makes the really good stuff good, right? Is this what peace feels like? And is it good enough? Certainly isn't the best. All I can do is to try and make life one I'm not trying to run from all the time. This is way later, but the screen has changed. There's an emergency warning in it. And also, part of the screen is broken with lot of mouthwash. Mountains of them. Fish. It is so dark. Unexpected lockpit, god damn it. That's the cockpit. Fish. Four months after the crash. More mouthwash has been opened. Before anything else, my mom found this internship for me. Such a slacker, she said. I know, I just never knew what I wanted to be. He's young, but unfortunately, as long as we're still under capitalism again, things will get worse. The economy will get worse. So younger people will have to be adult much faster. Daisuke case is one of these. Never was good at anything. Total screw up. I just hope she doesn't blame herself. But I think this line is the one that defined Daisuke the most. Despite everything, he still thinks about others first. Someone destroyed this, and based on this conversation, it's most likely Jimmy is the one who destroyed the poly. Anya is very scared of Jimmy, which is understandable.
Polly says,
Can't tell anymore because this is stuck at sunset. Stuck at the day of the crash, at the time of the crash. Jimbo, the man with the plan. Also, a lot of people make Swansea into some kind of a hero figure, which he's not. From all the adults, maybe he's the most adult figure, if that makes sense. He's honest, but at this point, and during the after the conversation with Anya, Swansea still didn't do anything. After Anya has told Swansea that Jimmy raped her and that Anya is pregnant, their conversation is mostly about the cryopod, which will make sense later in the game. But Swansea still sleeps far from the other crew. He's still trying to distance himself from the others. He's not doing anything heroic at all in the game. He's just being bitter. That's about it. Do something useful, you know? Even here, Swansea can choose to not give us the eggs. He can choose to take the medicine himself because he's already more experienced with the eggs, with using the eggs. Because he cleaned up a whole area using it. But he just gave up. Oh. Oh. Amazing, really. See, Anya is really giving a lot of compliment for us doing our job. Curly has done this, using the X to save Daisuke before the crash. But when Jimmy is the one who did it, people need to praise him for it. That he's their savior. That he's this figure that people need to look up to. It's been what, 4 months after the crash? And what he's done is find the code scanner, figure out the door code, get the X, chop up home, not too much, He's the co-pilot. Again, he's the co-pilot. And he's the one who crashed the ship. He's done like 6 things after in the duration of 4 months. Anya has done a lot more since she's keeping Curly alive. And also it's been about what, 4 or 5 months after her pregnancy. I'll take care of it, Anya. I always do. That is again, he's projecting. Because why he crashed the ship was because he doesn't want to take responsibility. But in Jimmy's mind, all the things that he's done wrong, he already erased from his mind. He already erased it. Like it's something that is outside of his control. Six hours until judgment. That means once she's trying to attack us. Maybe because she wants some kind of hero figure because of this. So we cannot see this at all. My hand won't stop shaking. Two days before the crash. I think this is one of the defining moments of the game though. And also the music is just really good. There's a dead pixel in the upper right corner. One dead pixel in the upper right corner. 99%. What? 0.1% of germs. And also with capitalism, there's the 1%er. Where the concentration of the wealth came to be. That caused no distribution of wealth. Anya have a bad feeling about the dead pixel, had a bad feeling about the 1%, had a bad feeling about Jimmy. But Curly is, as I said, the kind of The kind of confident person that is basing his confidence on some form of toxic positivity, where he wants to see what he's seeing is not always based on the reality of what is happening. A lot of the time is because he also doesn't want to deal with it. At least people like Curly. So might as well not think about it. Might as well look at the bigger picture. Months. Why do you think Pony Express put a lock on the medical room door but not in the sleeping quarters? Again, under capitalism, which is basically exploitation of labor, the corporates doesn't think about the life of its worker, because it only see profit as the end goal. So if you can cut corners at the cost of your worker, they will do so. The medical room door was locked because there are items there that will cost the company money, medicine, drugs, that if it's stolen, it will cost the company money. But if it's just labor, if it's just people, they can always seek for other workers. Laborers are more replaceable than medicines. Safety. Five months after the crash. Anya is stuck in medical. The door won't open.
Polly says,
Ooh. Forgot about that. He's working like the weeping angel. He only moves when you don't see him. Everything is gone already. Anya is the door stuck. You can't go breaking down at every little hardship. Even though Jimmy has been doing that, he's crashing out so much. Again, projection. Every Every accusation is a confession. I should have done this from the beginning. This isn't my worst moment. Far from it. It's the best decision I'll ever make. And in a way, that makes sense. A lot of Anya's life has been decision that is made for her. The student debt is not like it was her decision, it's because education has been privatized and has been monetized so much that it became this very expensive thing that only people on certain economic class can access them. And without accessing them, Anya cannot get the life that she wanted to have. And when she finally managed to become a member of this group, she was assaulted by Jimmy, get pregnant. Everything is out of her control. Only this decision is the one that she make under, well, not fully under her control, but the closest thing she have that is under her control. Super Mega not allowed above all else. The utility room. The one that we know before the crash is very dangerous. Busted fan. She looks rough. Whatever going on anywhere else ain't my problem. Swansea is not a hero. This is who he is, a selfish person. He didn't even care that Anya is in danger. Even though Anya has said to him that she's pregnant and that Jimmy is the one who assaulted her. There is no point with him, and for that one time I agree with Jimmy. It's not always a good idea. Why do you keep fucking saying that? You hear yourself? Yeah, because a lot of what Jimmy is doing, a lot of what Jimmy is thinking, a lot of what Jimmy is saying is based on this delusion that as long as he can fix something, even though how bad it is, it's not his fault. As long as in his head he can fix it. That's why he keeps saying, I can fix it, I can fix it. Even though once something is done, once something happened, it cannot be undone. The cocktail. I had no choice. And again, Jimmy is blaming others.
Polly says.
The worse the condition of the ship, the worse the condition of the crew,
Polly says.
the more distorted police voices. Just very fitting for this game. Oof. Whatever it is, Jimmy's trying not to see it. Oh, the responsibility. And this is just like Curly's hallucination or something. A blind place, aimless and restless. You can't run from it. About that guy. Really, this is easy now. Once you know the trick, just don't move when the horse is close to you. When everything starts shaking like this. All there is haunting Jimmy takes the form of that horse, takes the form of Polly. But also there's the sound of the baby every time Polly appeared. Because in Jimmy's mind, the thing that kept him from the future that he wanted, which is being successful at the company, that the company is not giving to him. And then there's the... So in a way, the company is also the thing that Jimmy is blaming for his lack of success. And then there's also the baby. That Jimmy is also just see as an obstacle to his future, to the future that he wanted. Somehow those two become those two merge in his mind. The fan in utility connects to medical. See, if Swansea is a better person, Anya and Daisuke wouldn't have to do what, wouldn't have to experience what they experienced this game. A recipe for a mocktail. Use different ingredients to add kick to it.
Polly says.
So if that doesn't give you enough hint, Jimmy knew how to spike a drink. Not even Swansea will drink this. A mockery of sugar. We need to cover up the taste, so he's done this quite a few times, and he might even have done it without any sweetener before. Good times. That's still locked. Based on years of experience, but that's just me, Captain. Again, just more passive aggressive, more sarcastic, more sarcasm, but that's about it. Never shall come here. You think it's all going somewhere, but every failure leaves you a little more mangled than before. Older, uglier, meaner, smarter in a worse way. Also, Swansea has a lot of very good quotes. Hardworking as team captain, again, just more sarcasm. Which, as you know in real life, and as you know from the game, does not help. I get a good reference now. We could talk with Swansea when he's cleared up a bit later. Barely foam up at all. So it's like, it's the same foam as the condition in the cockpit if you remember. Barely any foam there. "20 years. Jimmy immediately shut it down that Swansea didn't clean up any foam. Again, every accusation from Jimmy is a confession. He told everyone that the cockpit is foam up, so they didn't go there and they didn't check anything in case if they found out that the one who crashed the ship is Jimmy, not Curly. And when he sees this, because he didn't do any work at all at the ship, he immediately accused Swansea of not breaking any of the foam at all in this room. Swansea most likely only kept it away from everyone, first because of the foam, then later after the conversation with Anya, they decided to not tell Daisuke or Jimmy. Jimmy for obvious reason, because you can't trust him, and Daisuke in a way because also you couldn't trust Daisuke for another reason. He's a blabbermouth. And again, Jimmy accused Swansea of trying to keep the pot for himself because that's what Jimmy would have done. At least when he had the chance. Everyone's counting on you. That's so manipulative. If Swansea isn't such a useless drunk, he can at least prevent this.
Polly says, another day in paradise. Yay!
Another day in paradise. Still cannot enter our own room. Have I? Oh, no, I've gone through the clinic. I started there. Forgot. Abnormal story trajectories along the route. Curly, in a way, also looks down on Anya. That's why when Anya took the gun, the first thing that came to his mind is Anya is going to use it to kill herself. You could have come to me if you were feeling stressed. What would you have done? Even though Curly said anything, he didn't really mean anything. You, the crew, are all my responsibility. I'm not going to hurt myself. You know the case in a safety case I can open. I hate the case itself. We'll figure it out together. This has to be on our performance now. I'll look the other way. Anya is pregnant. Would you? Captain, I told you. Based on this, we can tell that Anya has told Curly somewhere in between this day and the previous day when they talked about the dead pixel that he's not comfortable around Jimmy. Jimmy is the father of the kid inside Anya, the baby inside Anya, because she raped her. And Curly's response, just like Jimmy's response, is we can fix this. I've known him for a long time. I'll talk to him. What are you gonna do? Tell him not to rape any other people? You know how to spike drinks? You know that people will not remember anything from taking those drinks. So he have done this before. This is not his first time using a spike drink on other people. But Curly will look the other way. As long as Jimmy didn't do it in a way that will make any problem, as long as Jimmy does it out of his sight, out of his mind. That cocktail was Jimmy's idea. That cocktail was used the last thing that could have helped Daisuke here. Everything at this point was Jimmy's fault. He used the cocktail to Anya. He crashed the ship. He used the cocktail on Swansea. He pushed Daisuke to his own injuries. But it's still not Jimmy's fault somehow. We can fix this. Fix what? This is what it got me, the good life. Useless ray of goddamn sunshine. Not an A student, career workhorse, or a force of ambition. Just a damn good kid trying his best. Could talk an old fool like me a lot. But unfortunately, Swansea chose to distance himself. Swansea chose to drown himself until he doesn't care about anything else. Well, Jimmy is the most at fault. Swansea is not innocent in all of this. If only there was just one responsible and capable adult in here. End of the fucking line. Her telling me all sort of things instead, wasn't it? See? Anya has told Swansea everything. But Swansea didn't do anything. I mean, his bed is still here, far away from Jimmy and Anya. He didn't even do the bare minimum of changing the location of his bed here. Which is not that hard to do. It's bare fucking minimum. But no, he had to let Anya be left alone. He made Anya feel like she's alone in all of this, with no one to help her. As I said, Jimmy is the cause of all of this, but just like Curly inaction didn't do anything, Swansea's inaction is also doesn't make him innocent. It doesn't make him innocent in the death of Anya and Daisuke. I think people focus more on Curly's inaction because he's the captain. He could have done better. And also because his inaction is symbolized even further with his condition, where he became literally unable to do any action. His first time making noise without after the crash, and he laughs at Jimmy. It's understandable. Between Jimmy taking the gun and between Swansea killing Daisuke and Jimmy's taking the gun, Swansea had changed his mind, I think. To that he'll kill Jimmy instead of letting him take the cryo. I told him. Did he seem angry? Where did he go? If you know what happened to Anya, and you know that Anya talked to her assaulter, the first thing you should have asked is, "Are you okay?" But no. Instead, Curly asked, "Was Jimmy angry?" Everything's going to be okay. More platitudes. Yeah, the bastard. I can fix this. And Jimmy, as usual, master of gaslighting and shifting the blame. All I ever hear is how great of a leader you are. God, it's so annoying. But now, what do you think will happen now when we get back? We'll fix this together. He raped someone. But still, in Curly's mind is still, we fix this together. Jimmy successfully shifts the blame that what happens will also be Curly's fault. And for the first time ever, Curly lost the toxic positivity that he used to just go through life, to not think about the any negative part of it. Just look the other side. And that's why for the first time ever in the game, we see Curly, even though we're still playing as him. I don't think Curly know what Jimmy will do because I don't think it enters his mind that Curly will be this selfish. And we're back at the start of the game. 1 hour before judgment. At this point of the game, I think Jimmy has lost his mind. He's always been not normal, but this is beyond abnormal. Just like the cake at the start. I'm cutting Curly's leg now. Nice. God damn. Since there's no more food to keep Jimmy alive. To keep Curly alive, Jimmy fed him his own leg, his own meat, which is nuts if you think about it, because feeding him human meat is already abnormal. But everyone else is already dead. So the only reason that Jimmy chose to cut Curly's leg and fed it to him is because he still sees the other as a non-problem at this point. He didn't see them as dead people. So the only logical conclusion in his mind is that since Curly won't be using his leg again, he can just cut some part of it. At least that's how his head go through the mental gymnastic of it. See, everyone else still alive. We are going to make it through this. He even gave them all Curly's meat in their plate. But eventually he have to face it. Starting with Daisuke. the board game that they're playing. Yes, Daisuke. There's the flower in Daisuke's shirt. No turning back now. I think that's Daisuke's face. So Jimmy kinda has to face the fact now that Daisuke is dead. Take responsibility. Also in part of the game where Jimmy is trying to take responsibility of Daisuke's death. So much of the imagery is still the axe that Swansea used to mercy kill Daisuke. He's still shifting the blame to him. And there's Swansea. You can even talk to him. It doesn't matter where you shoot. Let's still move to this graveyard. God damn it. Since I'm using a joystick, the aim goes all over the place. God damn it. Street light shining in my face. 500 gigawatts of the power of God. A vision of my bloated body found in some ditch. Scared me straight. So I got a scholarship, mortgage, and a credit card. All the things that make a good man. I hope I could raise my children to be better than their old man. I want to believe I was never one setback away from my worst self. The truth is, discipline, drive, routine, the endless fucking desperation to get shit done, a loving wife, great kids, sobriety. I'm telling you, accomplishment I've been chasing all my life. Never felt as good as I expected when I crossed the finish line. So now that we're at the end, taking inventory, those nights spinning out of my head, sinking into the sofa, broken glass in my palm, bleeding dry, the funniest things ever. Old dogs laughing and snoring on the waterbed floor, mocking the moon for daring to show its face. All nausea and wreckage and vomit and ugly cruelty. The only problem in the world, an empty bottle. Those were the best days of my life. Yeah, those were the best days of my life. Got nothing to hide, ready to face the music. I can see myself for what I am. But you, a cowardly selfish motherfucker, you can't even see it. I should have been able to protect the kid. Yeah, you should have been able to protect the kid. To protect Daisuke. To protect Anya. If I could have done one thing right, I was happy to give him one small chance of this goddamn bro. So Swansea's conversation with Anya was beside Anya telling him Swansea and Anya conversation was about the cryopod, that there is only one of them left. Swansea might have offered that to Anya at some point, but Anya told Swansea about her pregnancy, and her pregnancy cannot wait 20 years in a cryopod. So that option is gone from her. So their other option is Daisuke, because no way they are giving it to Jimmy. And even until the end, Jimmy still says this: I'm going to fix everything. How? One of the kids, Anya, killed herself. Daisuke got an axe to his face. And Swansea got at least one bullet injury on him right now. That's how Jimmy managed to tie him up to a chair. still have a soft spot for Swansea, but there's nothing heroic about Swansea. And here comes Curly. Yo. Swansea is self-aware, but he's also the kind of self-aware people who stop being self-aware and then didn't go further than that after that. Self-awareness alone is not enough. It's good that you're self-aware, but also there's another step, there's more steps after that. Steps that Swansea did not want to take, as he said.
Tis old Mother Goose's birthday, we're giving her a party. A party, a party, a party for Mother Goose.
The baker man, he served the cake, it was a sight to see.
Yeah. Ah. I'm really bad at this. Come on, man. Like that. Help me. Curly and Jimmy. We are home. If anyone ever finds us, I'll still be playing the villain. You'll be the better man in the end, like you wanted. So this is only happening in Jimmy's mind. We can both be heroes. We're a team, just you and me, like we used to be. What happened was an accident. We were trapped. Even until the end. Even in his own mind, when he asked for forgiveness, quote unquote forgiveness, he only did it to Curly because he know that he's seen it, that Curly will forgive him for anything. It's not that he want to atone for what he did. It's not that he felt sorry for what he did. He only felt sorry that he had to take responsibility for it. I think the rape case in Palestine right now is also the same, where the prison guard is saying that, is blatantly saying that if only the victim didn't say anything, then he won't get into trouble, and he want to seek justice for that. The perpetrator is the one seeking justice. for what he did. Some people just allergic to guilt. And this is taking responsibility for Anya. And he still didn't even see it as a baby. He see it as a horse. He didn't see. He's trying to dehumanize. The fact that it is the voice of a baby though still means that somewhere deep down he still felt guilty for the baby, but not to Anya. Still not to Anya. Was it way? All day fireflies. The 1% that became the problem is also that feeling of guilt that you cannot get rid. The one that causing Jimmy to lose his mind right now. This centipede monster that is chasing Jimmy is still just the horses. See? This is all Polly. This is the employee ID card. And even in here, every card of Anya, if you look through it, you can only see glimpses of her. Her neck, part of her hair, mostly her neck. He's still trying not to see Anya in all of this, despite she's the person that is the cause of all of this, because of what Jimmy did to her. This game is the consequences of what Jimmy did to her. But despite that, he still did not see her until the end. Hey boss. It's me. Old man? So Polly is in a way a representation of the baby here. That's why they ask, what shall I call you? Old man? Seems a little above your pay grade. But Jimmy still translated into Pony Express is dead. And so are you. Despite Polly being very obviously the baby, the kid.
Polly says,
Curry tried his best, I did too, but he's the better man. Now, we can both still make it. Until the end, his obsession is still in Curly. Because he knows that that's the only person that will forgive him. He doesn't even have to take responsibility or accountability or anything. They can just move forward, not seeing backward. I can still make this right. No. Jimmy even tried to quote Anya. Our worst moment don't make us who we are, does not define us. But Polly stopped him. Why are you still so concerned with him? Yeah. Go home. No, you'll survive. Together we can fix anything, even though nothing has been fixed. What Jimmy is saying, everything that come out of his mouth is just to make himself feel better, just to make himself feel comforted, feel good. It's the kind of thing that, for lack of a better example, when Americans know about the war crimes that their country did, and then they just said, yeah, but our government does not define us. The people is still good. While that is true, you also wash yourself a bit too quick from everything. Just to keep your mind off the thing that you need to face. We fix it. Delusional bastard. And then he take the easy way out. And all of this is just for Jimmy to feel good about himself, because he thinks that at least if someone saved Curly, and the people who save him see that Curly is the one inside this cryopod and Jimmy's body is outside taking his own life, some of them will think that Jimmy is doing the selfless thing by taking his own life and saving Curly, putting him into the cryo. That is of course if we only consider what Jimmy is seeing in his own mind, because he's the kind of guy some people just is very allergic to taking responsibility, taking accountability, because guilt and shame can feel very uncomfortable. So a lot of people just want to move on until they arrive at the point of forgive and forget. But most of them forget when they try to take that shortcut, that before all of that there is a period of time where they have to take accountability, take responsibility of what they did, of the mistake they made, of the damage they made, of the hurt they made. So they can just fast forward to the forgive and forget part. And I think despite the serious nature of the story, despite the dark theme of the story, I think that's why Mouthwashing became the game that it is, became so popular. It's because they managed to portray that character very well. The damages that those people will leave on their way. And that's Mouthwashing. Sorry if I did not if I was not clear enough. I don't know why. My mouth is very dry and my head just cannot think of words to say at some point. Maybe I'm just tired. I needed some rest. But I'm glad I played this game. It's a story that is still stuck in my mind for the better part of the year, and I think it will stay so for longer. Hopefully, at least with game like this being more popular, a lot of people are more aware that you cannot be any of these characters. You cannot be Jimmy, you cannot be Curly, and you can't even be Swansea, because if Swansea is a better person, just slightly a better person, there are parts of the game that will be very different. That's it for me. That's it for the stream today. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope I make enough sense. I'll see you guys next time. Okay. Bye bye.